Are you planning to move to York County, Virginia, but you're on a bit of a tight budget? Well, then you came to the right place, because that's what we're going to talk about in today's video. What are your housing options in York County for under $250,000? My name's David Tortellini. I'm with eXp Realty. Stick around and we'll get right to it.
Before we head on into our first neighborhood, I do want to talk just a little bit about York County. So it is one of the more expensive places to live in all of Hampton Roads. The median sales price on a single family home right now is just about $500,000. So if we're looking at homes that are less than half of that, obviously there are going to be some pretty big concessions made relative to what else is for sale in the area. And when we talk about York County, we're just talking about Yorktown down to the Poquoson border. There is a northern portion of York County. We tend to roll that in with Williamsburg though. And so the sales prices around here are largely driven by, proximity to Langley Airforce Base, really straight shot, and then the general public's feel for the schools. So I am a real estate agent and I'm not allowed to talk about the schools or have an opinion on them, but a lot of my clients tell me that they want to get to York County for the schools. All right, so that's just a little bit about York County. So let's head on over and start taking a look around. Alrighty, so we're going to start off in a neighborhood called Whispering Winds, and this is actually one of the only, maybe the only entirely prefab neighborhood on the peninsula as far as I know. We have a lot of spot builds like this, but entire neighborhoods of prefabs I'm not too familiar with. So I think this is it. So the cool thing about this neighborhood is that it is zoned for Tabb School District, which is a really popular school district. And this is a really great opportunity to get a single family home for under $250,000. So most, as I mentioned before, a lot of the homes here they're big, they're pretty expensive with that median sales price close to $500,000. But in here, for example, like this house right here, 307 Cattail, this just sold for $208,000. It's the 3-bed, 2-bath, 1,300 square foot home, and they were able to buy this for $208,000. So to be able to get in at that price point into York County, and from here where we're located, we're only about 5 minutes to NASA or Langley Airforce Base. So if you're PCSing to the area and you're looking for an inexpensive place to come and be close to work, this could be a really good option for you. Now when you get into these prefabricated homes, so they're not trailers. I think a lot of people see these and they say, oh my gosh, is it a trailer? It's not. It's just, it was built in a warehouse and then they put it down here on a foundation. So some lenders might have some extra questions for you regarding that, and so you can run into a couple of issues there, but generally there's no problem with it. But little things like in these homes you don't get are like attics. So a lot of these, the interior roof line is the roof line that you see. So there's some concessions that are made, but I mean, good neighborhood. These guys are waterfront. What's behind us? They've got a really cute kind of lake right behind them. So a lot of good options in this neighborhood. Homes here come up for sale fairly regularly, and it's a really good opportunity for anybody who's looking to get in on a budget in York County. And now we're going to jump over to a townhouse neighborhood. And we actually have two different styles of homes that we're going to be able to see here in this neighborhood called Yorkshire Downs. So this is actually the neighborhood where I did my first ever real estate transaction. So the story was a gentleman was coming in, PCSing to Norfolk Naval, and he came here to look at rentals, and then he saw the prices, saw they were so good that he decided to buy instead. And that's how I did my first ever real estate transaction. But there have been quite a few of the townhomes who have sold in the last 6 months. And, actually two on here and then one right across from here. So, but this 508 right here that we're coming up on, this is a good example. It's a 3-bed, 2.5-bath, 1,300 square foot townhouse. So most of these in this neighborhood are either going to be 2-bed, 2.5-bath or 3-bed, 2.5-bath. And this one sold for $231. So we're seeing price ranges go from anywhere from like 206, I think is the lowest I recently saw, up to about 250. So you can definitely go a little over 250, and I'm not sure how much longer many of these are going to be under 250, but right now it's still a good opportunity to get in this neighborhood, get in these townhouses. We are maybe a quarter mile up the street from where we just came from at Whispering Pines. So we're just right up the street and across. So we're still on 134. You're still right down the street from Langley Airforce Base, still Tabb zone school districts. So this is a great opportunity to get into a nice townhome. You know, these were mostly built in the late 80s, so, you know, some of them are a little dated at this point, but we've seen a lot of people start to do those upgrades, like all the white laminate counters or that off-white color. Those are really starting to go away, and people are updating the cabinets and stuff. So we're starting to see some real improvements here in this neighborhood. But really solid opportunity. HOA is fairly inexpensive. It's only like $82 a month. So if you're going to be in an HOA, that's pretty solid. We don't see a lot less than that. The one thing to just watch out for in this neighborhood is some of these homes do require flood insurance. So you're just going to want to pull up the old flood map when we're looking at a property to make sure that you're not in a flood zone. But these are the townhomes. There's another style in this neighborhood right around the corner. I want to go take a look at those. So let's jump on over there. All right, so now we're in the other portion of the neighborhood, and these are the condos. And so what you're looking at are these larger buildings that each building has 6 units in it. And so these are similar in size, though, to the townhomes, maybe a little bit smaller. So, but we have one in this building right here. So this is 112 Chippenham, and Unit C in this building, that sold for $193, and it's a 2-bed, 2.5-bath, 1,381 square foot home. So you're still getting a decent size. Now that's probably one of the bigger units in the area, but we're seeing price ranges in here from 180 up to about 215. I think that one is a bit of an outlier. So, you know, when you're looking at these, they do have a much different feel than the other ones. And as I mentioned, they are condo ownership, and we do have HOA dues or condo dues in here of they're up to about $347 a month. So it's pretty expensive in terms of the condo section, even if you are going to get them at a lower price point. But of course, you do need to look at the positives and negatives of both. Now with the condo, you do get full exterior maintenance. So there's maintenance free. You don't have to worry about your siding, your roof, or anything like that ever. But you are going to pay a pretty hefty amount for those condo dues. And this neighborhood, one of the things you need to check on if you are using an FHA loan, of whether or not it can take FHA. So for a long time it couldn't, and it may be back on the verge where it can now, but you definitely have to check if you want to use an FHA loan whether or not you can purchase a home in this community. So those are our two options. You're going to have really the straight up townhouse, or you're going to have these you know, these 6-unit buildings here for the condo section. Both are really good options to be really close to Langley, Tabb School District, and then kind of you have your option of a little bit of maintenance or low maintenance. And then I think one of the things I like about here, lots of parking. So, you know, there's a whole bunch of visitor parking spots. That's my Subaru. You've probably seen it in other videos. And really good options here. So, all right, so we're going to take a little drive around the neighborhood so you can check it out, and then we're going to head on to our next location. Right, and this is going to bring us to another townhouse community. When we just drove right up 134, and we're now in Heatherly, which is part of Meadow Lake Farm. So there are some single-family homes attached to this. But this is another great townhome community. I really love the location of this one because it's right on the corner of 134 and Victory. So whether you want to get down to Langley Airforce Base, or you want to shoot across Victory to head into Newport News, to the grocery store, to more shopping and things like that, this is a really good spot to be able to do that. Or you can head over to Pocosin. So a lot of good opportunities to be nice and centrally located kind of where we are here. And so we're coming up on a recent sale here, 109D. This one is 2 beds, 2.5 baths, 1,210 square feet, and it sold for $205. And an identical unit, a couple of buildings down, sold for $210. So very accurate for where you're going to be. And HOA dues in this neighborhood are about $124 a month, so fairly reasonable. It is a townhome community, so you are responsible for your roof and windows and all that kind of stuff. But overall, really solid neighborhood, really good location, and a good example of what you're going to be able to get as we move our way up Route 17, as we get to Route 17, and be kind of still centrally located in York County. All right, well, now I want to get back into some single-family homes. And right behind me, we have 303 Furby. And this is a 3-bed, 1.5 bath home that was 1,100 square feet, and it sold for just under $250. It was a renovation, so it was really nice inside. But that is now what you can expect for just regular single-family homes. We're looking at little ranchers, bungalows, things like that. And so we've made our way up 134, now we're on Route 17. We're in the Grafton School District. But when you start looking at, other single-family homes in this area, and for the sake of this video, I really want to focus on homes that you can actually move into. There are going to be opportunities to buy some rundown places if you're looking for investment properties. But, again, over here, 221, this was a 3-bed, 2-bath, 1,200 square foot home that also sold right at $250, another renovation. So these are the kind of things that you can expect if you're looking for a single family home in York County. And now we're just a coincidence that there happen to be two really close to each other. This street is actually kind of interesting. It has some big new builds that are beautiful right next to a lot of just kind of old little bungalows, kind of a interesting little street. But that's what you're going to find. You have to find these little spot builds that are still around, a lot of 1940s and 50s construction, that are going to be in the 800 square foot to 1,200 square foot sort of range. And that's what you're going to get for a move-in ready single family home under $250,000, and you're just not going to see like entire neighborhoods in York County of them. You're really just kind of they just kind of pop up. Maybe they've existed there forever, and then they're still remaining. And most likely there are larger houses that have kind of been built around them, like this one. So that is a good example of what you're going to get for $250,000 single family in York County. All right, now we're in a neighborhood called Burnt Bridge Run, and I really love this neighborhood for this video because what we did is we went up 17 and we took a left onto Fort Eustis Boulevard, and then this is right off of Fort Eustis Boulevard. So you guessed it, if you are coming here and you're stationed at Fort Eustis, you may really love this location. You literally just come out of this community and then just head straight down Fort Eustis Boulevard around 8 minutes and you're going to be on base. So really great location for anyone who's going to be at Fort Eustis Boulevard, or who's going to be on Fort Eustis, but wants to be living in York County. And of course, where we're at is only maybe 5 minutes to Yorktown, to the beaches and restaurants there, and then you still have access to everything up and down 17. It's be a little bit of a longer battle down 17 to get to Langley, so you're going to have a little bit of a commute there, but overall, the location is really great. And then, so what we have behind me are these kind of quad buildings where you have 2 units on the first floor and then 2 on the second floor. And to get to the second floor units, you actually go in that front door right there, and then stairs that lead right up to your door to your 2 units. But then the bottom units have their own separate entrances, their own individual entrances, I should say. And the one right here, 601 Unit A, that actually sold recently for $196. So that's a 2-bed, 2.5 bath, 1,295 square foot unit, and that's going to be probably right in the middle for what these are going for. I've seen a little lower and a little higher, but that's a pretty good price point for this neighborhood. Now, you also have about $300 a month condo dues throughout this whole neighborhood. And just like Yorkshire Downs, this neighborhood has kind of these buildings like this, but then also has more like your standard townhouses. So what I want to do is I want to go over and take a look at the townhouses now, so that we can get a good feel for what the whole neighborhood has to offer. right? And this is the just standard townhome section of the community. And here, what you will get is a little bit more size and a little bit more of the kind of traditional style that I think more people are used to. But you know, and it's going to be at a higher price point though. So this really is going to get you just under that 250. You still have those high condo dues though, so it might break the budget for, you know, a lot of people who do want to stay under 250. So like example here, 204 Bridge Lane, this sold for 248, but it is a 3-bed, 2.5 bath home, and it's 1,565 square feet, so it's pretty large. So you are going to get an opportunity to get a little bit more size. Not sure if those condo dues will still fit in the budget for a lot of people who want to stay under 250, but if you can do the 250 plus some condo dues, that's going to give you a good opportunity to be in a really big, nice, spacious place. So it's probably the largest thing that we've looked at today. So overall, that is just going to be your final option for, it's not your final option, but it's going to be another great option for being in York County for under 250, this time kind of close to Fort Eustis. So what I want to do is we'll head on back. Let's get in the car. We'll just drive around the neighborhood a little bit so you can get a good feel, and we'll be done for today. Well, there you have it, folks. That is York County on a budget. So you can see single family is going to be pretty tough, but townhouse options, condo options are really good in the county, depending on if you want to be near Langley, near Fort Eustis, or just somewhere else in the county for whatever reason. If you have any comments or questions, please leave those below. I'll respond to them as soon as possible, or you can just reach out to me directly. My contact information will be there as well. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe to this channel, and then do me a favor and share this video with anyone you know who may be moving to the York County area anytime soon. My team and I are on standby, waiting to help you with all your home buying and selling needs. Again, my name is David Tortellini. Thank you so much for watching.